Happy holidays from the Good Food CFO. We closed out season 5 answering your questions, and we're getting ready to release fresh episodes when season 6 premieres on January 9th. As you've heard me share this season, we have been working hard behind the scenes to evolve the Good Food CFO into more than a podcast. We've launched a new website, brand new tools and resources, and we are so close to revealing our reimagined community, all of which align with our updated mission statement. As we prepare to take a big step forward in the good food revolution, I wanted to take you back to where it all started. So we're going to rewind through what I consider some essential listening for this movement. This is episode 50 Rewind. Let's get to it. Today on the podcast, I am kicking off season 5 by sharing some of the big takeaways I had from our recent fireside chat and what we're doing next to keep the good food revolution rolling forward. Let's get to it. I want to kick off this episode by saying a big thank you to everyone who shared a screenshot of where you were listening to episode 49 on Instagram, who posted about the episode on LinkedIn or commented on our post, and who sent a personal message to my inbox. I also want to thank those of you who forwarded the episode to your food business founder friends, communities, and fellow industry disruptors. The response to the episode was everything I hoped for and more than I ever could have imagined. When we checked the download numbers at the end of last week, the episode had been downloaded 2 times more than our most popular episode. And what that tells me is resoundingly that you are all interested in creating real change in the industry and building good food businesses on your own terms. I also want to share how wonderful it was to gather as a community during the fireside chat that we held on August 8th. We put that event together after seeing all of your comments and all of the downloads that were happening with the episode, because we wanted to create an opportunity for everyone in the industry to come together and for founders to have a platform to share your struggles, your frustrations, and your wins, and so that others could see themselves in you and your experiences and be inspired and encouraged. And not only that, but to know that none of you are alone in wanting to do things differently. I left the fireside chat thinking how wonderful it was to be together, even if it was only for an hour. And I also left thinking, quite honestly, for a few days after the fireside chat, what next? And where do we take this conversation from here? And what did I learn from the group? What were my big takeaways? And how can I best serve this community that I love so much and really want to drive change within? And one of the big things that I realized is that I don't have all the answers and that we still need to hear from more of you in the community. So our team, along with the help of a few industry experts, put together a brief survey to gather more insights on where you as founders are feeling confident and where you feel like you need more support or want to learn more so that you can build a business on your own terms without doubt or without second guessing yourselves. So everyone who registered for the fireside chat got a link to that survey in their inboxes at the end of last week. If you didn't get that email or you weren't able to register for the fireside chat, but you want to join the conversation and share insights about you and your business, you can access the survey via the link in the show notes. I hope that you will go to the show notes and get that link and share with us, because it will really help to create the path forward and ensure that this revolution does indeed keep rolling on. What the fireside chat confirmed for me was that I'm only one piece of the puzzle and that we really do need each other. As a community of food founders, when each of you were speaking and being active in the chat on Zoom, I saw that you need each other, that you need access to stories and experiences and business owners who have struggled and who have succeeded. One food founder shared how they worked with distributors early on in their business and then left one of the distributors because the relationship was not mutually beneficial. And I remember thinking that is a story that needs to be told. And I'm so glad that it's happening here because so many founders, I think, would view that as a loss or a failure when indeed it was a victory for that brand. And we got to hear that because the founder also shared that after leaving that relationship, they were able to recognize other opportunities for growth, and their business is in a much better place financially and overall as a result of leaving that relationship. It was awesome to hear, and it was awesome to see the reactions from the group. Another founder shared that they don't do off invoice discounts with their distributors. And we saw, like, literally in the chat and in the video, that many founders on the call didn't know that that was a negotiable thing. And I remember thinking, the revolution is growing stronger right in that moment because now more good food founders know that they can say no and that they can negotiate for relationships that are mutually beneficial and beneficial to their brands, not just the distributor. And then another founder shared that they turned down a contract from a high-end retailer, the kind of retailer that from the outside would imply that that brand is making it, right? Their family would be so proud, their followers and competition would probably be impressed. But the contract didn't benefit the brand financially. It was not an equitable relationship. And by sharing this story during the fireside chat, I know that it gives other founders the confidence to walk away from similar contracts. And in the future, if more good food brands tell that retailer no and demand a more equitable contract, the retailer will have no choice but to make a change. And then the entire food community wins. The fact that these three stories and more were shared in just an hour, and to think about the impact that these stories had on the founders that were present that day just gets me so excited and really looking forward to having more time together and serving the revolution, if you will. And then the last thing that we saw was at the end of the fireside chat, many founders were sharing their emails like in the chat, and they were encouraging each other to reach out and have one-on-one conversations and, ask this one person how they were successful in this channel and how did they negotiate, a contract in this other channel. And it was just so, so wonderful to see. The fireside chat also confirmed that we need to highlight companies that are creating a disruption in areas like distribution and food service and retail so that more founders know the full breadth of options that they have to build their business, and not only what the options are, but how to successfully utilize those options to maximize opportunity and build profitable businesses. And we know that a change, a big disruption, needs to happen in the media to combat this groupthink that is currently happening around how to build a business and to disrupt and change the financial stories being told in the media because they do not represent the majority. In addition, we want to provide you with the financial insights and the resources and the tools that you need to successfully navigate your way through the industry and build a business on your own terms, whatever that looks like for you. The fireside chat and the conversations that I've had since really confirmed for me that I don't have to do it all. It's the same for you as a food founder. I know that many of us feel like we have to do everything perfectly and we have to do it on our own because we are the founders of our businesses. But what makes us stronger is recognizing when and where to ask for help or expert guidance, and when and where to connect with our peers to get the support we need. I am honored that so many food founders turn to me and to this podcast for support and financial guidance for their food businesses. And I'm extremely grateful for my amazing network of industry peers that I can turn to and connect with when I need support. It is only when we're all here in support of each other that real change can happen. And so my commitment on this podcast is to continue to bring you the stories of food founders and the advice of experts. As I mentioned in the intro, this is the kickoff of season 5, and we have an exciting lineup of founders from CPG brands and non-CPG founders, as well as industry experts. But more importantly, this season will be all about you and the content you want and need most. And to ensure that we're doing that, we've created a way for you to join the conversation. I'm so excited because you can now email me and the show directly. The email address is jointheconvo@thegoodfoodcfo.com. And you can send an email anytime to share what's on your mind, the types of stories you want to hear, the questions you want answered, and the expert guidance and support that you need. If you were working out or doing the dishes like I usually do while listening to the podcast and you couldn't write down that email address, don't worry. You can find it in the show notes for this episode and every episode going forward. I want to thank you, as always, for joining me here for this episode and for this good food revolution. I look forward to hearing from you via email and via our survey. Thank you for joining me here today to listen to this rewind episode of the Good Food CFO podcast. To stay up to date on the Good Food Revolution, be sure to follow us on Instagram and sign up for our newsletter. We've got links to both in the show notes. And be sure to share your thoughts, ideas, and any recommendations you have for the show via email to jointheconvo@thegoodfoodcfo.com. I'll be back to kick off season 6 with a brand new episode on January 9th. We'll see you in the new year.